All right. We are back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave. I'm your host, Mark Pierce. It is Wednesday, Wanderlust Wednesday here in the cave. Another one. I'm still reeling from yesterday's episode. How about Kate Bush? I'm just saying. I played that song like 10 times on my way to and from work yesterday. Doors off the Jeep. Such a good song. That song's been on my playlists, my 80s playlist, my party playlist, my you name it playlist forever and ever and ever. And it's so good to see a new generation of people seeing Running Up That Hill, A Deal with God, not Hounds of Love. I misspoke the first time there, but it's one take here in the cave. You get what you get. You don't get upset. But again, I love that song, and I hope you do too. And if you don't, you're checking it out because, boy, that was a good one. What are we talking about today? This one is going to be hard to keep track. You're going to follow me on this one because these are all these are all joined together. They're all related. In the car the other day, and the song comes on, and Sarah and I are singing along this song, and I said, hey, it was the original version, and I said, oh, hey, you remember when this band did a remake of that in the 80s? She's like, oh, I don't know. So then I got to thinking, and I was like, oh yeah. I was like, oh, and I went through. I said, oh yeah, we got to do an episode on this. So, what are we talking about, Mark? Get to it, man. Just get to it. All right, we're going to try to do this in order here. So 1983. Again, this is all thank you to WPLR New Haven. Just formed my frontal lobe music. Thank you. It was all mushy. And WPLR just like a walnut. Awesome. So Box of Frogs is what we're talking about first. This was a band formed in 1983 of former Yardbird members. And they put out 2 records. They put out the self-titled one in 1984, and that's the one we're talking about. They put another one out after that, but you got some former Yardbird members in there. But most importantly, you've got Jeff Beck on guitar on this first album, and Jimmy Page, former Yardbird, is playing guitar on the second record. So anyway, this band, Box of Frogs, out of nowhere, a side project. They got, like I said, this is Jeff Beck on guitar. And they had a song, they had a hit, it was called Back Where I Started, and it starts off with this haunting, like, chorus, and then it kicks in, and it's just harmonica, and it's just, like, bluesy rock, R&B, whatever you want to call bluesy rock. It's so good. You guys remember this one? You remember Box of Frogs? Short-lived project in 83, and you're checking out Back Where I Started. And when I go years without playing it, and then I play it, it just brings me right back to those days of summer in the early 80s. Okay, then we're going to 1984 with the band the Honeydrippers. This is the one most people might remember if you're of my age. Now remember, this is Robert Plant's project. In 1981, they actually formed this band. He's coming off of their last studio album for Led Zeppelin, 79's In Through the Outdoor. They put out Coda the next year in 82, but that was all unreleased material. That wasn't a new album. So he's sitting around and he's thinking, I've always wanted to do like an R&B band, like an R&B rock band. So he gets Jimmy Page and Jeff Beck together to make one record. There's a whole host of other guys on here, but they make one record. It's an EP, Honeydrippers Volume 1. What a tease, Volume 1. They said they were going to put out a whole record. They never did. They never did it again. But came out in November of 1984 after they were kicking around for so long. They played on Saturday Night Live that December, right before Christmas, and on stage were Brian Setzer, Paul Schaefer. Those guys were on the album. He had all kinds of guests on there, but those guys played on the record, by the way. Nile Rodgers played on it and helped produce it, and they did. I think they did "Rockin' at Midnight" and they did a Christmas song. Brian Setzer, way back then. But they had 2 songs on here, and those songs were. What do we got going on here? We just keep rolling. 2 songs on here. Sea of Love is the one we're talking about. That one brought it up to number 3, and then Rocket at Midnight, number 25. But the song Sarah and I heard on the radio was Phil Phillips' version of this song in 1959. What a great song. Huge 50s fan. You guys already know that. Doo-wop fan, 50s fan. So love the original, but I'm pretty sure the first time I heard this song was from the Honeydrippers. It might be true. Robert Plant does a really nice job on this record. Do you guys remember this one? But what great stars on there. But here we are. Jimmy Page, Jeff Beck. You see where I'm going with this, right? Next up, 1985, a band called Willie and the Poorboys. Do you guys remember this one? This is Bill Wyman's project. He's trying to figure out what to do for a charity record, and it's Ronnie Lamb's Appeal for Arms, and he basically comes up with this side project, and it's again like I don't know, like a bluesy R&B band. Anyway, self-titled record, 1985. It's Bill Wyman, Charlie Watts, Jimmy Page, Paul Rogers. Remember Paul Rogers? We talked about him. Free, Bad Company. I mean, this is incredible, right? And then they also had, so Paul Rogers did some vocals, but they also had Chris Rea on vocals. Remember Chris Rea? I did a whole Wanderlust Wednesday, season 1. Love Chris Rea. I'm obsessed with him, especially his album Road to Hell. And you guys know some of his stuff. We might have to revisit him again, but I love Chris Rea's voice. But this is blues, R&B, swing, and they did a cover of Big Joe Williams' 1935 hit. You guys know this one, Baby Please Don't Go. You guys remember hearing this song, this version in the mid 80s? Baby Please Don't Go. Big Joe Williams, but who made it famous? The band Them. Who was Them? Them featuring soon-to-be solo artist Van Morrison. Put them on the map. Them on the map. See what I did there? In 1964. But who is that in the session playing guitar? He's like a session guitarist. That's none other than Jimmy Page, reportedly playing on Baby Please Don't Go. That's what I read. Isn't that crazy? Jimmy Page, see where I'm going here? Willie and the Poorboys, Box of Frogs. There's a Honeydrippers. There's a joke here. I don't know. Willie and the Poorboys walk into a bar with a box of frogs, order a round of Honeydrippers. I don't know, something. Anyway, what do you guys think of Baby Please Don't Go? The Them version is the standard, the gold standard. That's the one everyone knows. But this one, this is good. I mean, I love Chris Rea's voice. And when I heard this again years and years ago, when I was going through things and I was like, oh, I've heard this a long time. And I played it. I was like, wait a minute. That sounds like Chris Rea. And sure as, it was Chris Rea. And I was like, what? When I was listening to this record back then, that was Chris Rea, and then I became a Chris Rea fan, and I play it now, and I'm like, Chris Rea, it's playing his day. But I thought it was Paul Rogers, if I knew anything, or maybe I didn't know anything about it then, but crazy. We're almost at 8 minutes. Anyway, this is some good stuff there. All these three, all in a row, years-wise, 84, 83, 84, 85. Check these songs out. Do you guys remember these? Comment below. There's some good stuff here. We're going to post it, but I want you to check it out. Tell me what you think. Make or remakes in the middle of a Wanderlust Wednesday. Mark, what are you doing to us? All right, I hope whatever you're doing today involves music. I got some long episodes here, and I know you guys just have to put up with me. That's how it is. That's how we roll here. Whatever you're doing today, I hope it involves music. And as usual, catch you.